Hello, welcome to Raider News. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming my guest, Roy Saigo, the president of Southern Oregon University. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Alex, thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to the Alex Show. Thank you for being here for my very first episode. I'm glad to be in your home. Tonight, I got a special treat for you. Special guest, Michael Paul Bryant, Ashland filmmaker, SOU Film Club head, and an overall great guy. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
And now we got the two Michaels in the building, Michael Fox and Michael Rhodes. I would like to start this off by introducing clips from Michael Fox's show. First off, I want to ask you the question that's on everyone's minds right now. As the president of SOU and a member of the Board of Trustees, what's your position on the recent decision to increase tuition 5%?
Well, it seems like this was done way before, and the students apparently were consulted. They had a choice between 3 and 5%, and the students requested that we go with 5.
So, in your opinion, that was the right decision to make?
Well, there's a lot of unusual circumstances right now, Alex, because we have a lot of union decisions to be made. Costs continue to go up. We have to negotiate salaries. And so I think the students were wise in recommending 5%. Although we want to keep costs of tuition down, the cost of living, cost of new contracts, cost of healthcare continually goes up. So the students had, rather than going for 3%, recommended the board go with 5.
And you agreed with that recommendation?
Yeah, because it was brought forward by students, and had a lot of study done behind it.
And for that, you actually got to go to the orphanage in India. Can you talk about, first off, how that happened, and secondly, what you thought of it? What was your experience there?
Long story short, I was browsing Reddit, and the front page of the internet, where I saw this guy posted about a blog where he was working in this orphanage in India. This guy, his name was James, he was from Canada, and I ended up sending him an email because I thought what he was doing was cool, and he invited me to come check it out. And that's a really shortened version of it, but I started getting involved through that. And during the summer of 2015, I was able to raise about $11,000 to be able to go over there, document it, and raise some money for the orphanage.
And how'd you raise $11,000?
I started an Indiegogo campaign, and I had a lot of amazing friends and family and people who don't really know me. And it was just really, really amazing that people would give to that. And so what now I'm trying to do is build up enough kind of awareness that they're not giving it because it's something that I'm invested in, but they're giving it because they see and they feel like they know the people who's invested in the orphanage. So
a little bit of giving the people in the orphanage characters and personalities.
Exactly, and I'm a big believer that you can't just, I mean, you can show people a bunch of stats and say, hey, help us out, but I believe the most effective way to have change actually happen is to touch people in the heart first and connect people to real people, and then you can start saying, hey, you know, this is where we're at, can you help us out?
And is that kind of the reason you got into cinema?
I think it is. You know, I love being able to be behind the camera and the opportunity to give someone a voice that they might not otherwise have. And I think that's why I'm definitely most drawn to nonfiction kind of documentary work, because it's real people and it's real life, and I try to be as unscripted as possible, I guess.
Well, I think it's obvious to any of the viewers today that you're going to make that happen. I'm looking forward to seeing the projects that you make in the future. Thank you for coming.
Hey, thank you for having me.
And I would like to say thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of The Alex Show. Hopefully the first of many. Thank you so much, and have a great night.
That was.
So the two mics are in the couch right now, but two very different shows, two very different topics. You talk about some very important things in your show, but what inspires you to go out and actually do it and make that program?
It originally started a year and a half, 2 years ago, with the idea of educating about psychological things that are going on. But more recently, over the last 6 months, it's been event-driven. And the events are getting close to home. And it's really taken my attention to want to understand that, and so it has taken kind of a dark turn. And we're not done yet. There's more coming. But my hope is that we can get some gleaming of understanding and then ultimately prevention on a number of different levels of what we're seeing happening. It worries me very much, so I wanted to see what answers I could find, what people I could find that might help us understand what's going on.
And from the two of you, we can see the full range of the spectrum. We have shows that target the inner child in us and just make us laugh, which we all need. But we also have shows that may make us want to cry a little bit, and we need that too as human beings. So I would just like to say thank you for doing the work you guys do.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at some clips from other people that couldn't make it tonight. And this is not in the script, this was not planned, but can we get every producer in the building to come to this stage and wave to that camera?
Get on up here. Get on up here. This is your studio. It's not mine. Come on.
All right, we thank you for tuning in and have a wonderful day. Woo!
See you here, Southern Oregon. Come on down. Come on.